What's up, everybody? So check it out. My name is Joey. Most people know me by Snow Rock. I got a little story I wanted to tell. This goes back to I think it had to be like 2003 or 2004. So this is when I got sent to CMC East. This is the level 3 uh, prison in San Luis Obispo. The area, it's a beautiful area up there. It's nice. Uh, but my first uh, my first visit wasn't pleasant. Anyway, so I was on the yard, and it was this is a raggedy spot. This place is old. The prison is really old. They was having problems with water because the water was coming out brown, and people, you know what I'm saying, was having diarrhea and other issues, you know what I'm saying, and they were saying it was because of the water. I don't know. Truthfully, I wasn't there that long. I get into stuff quick. You know what I mean? I'm always, a WhiteCrip, and the California prison system back in those days wasn't wasn't the spot you wanted to be. So anyway, you know what I'm saying, this story is about something else. This was I was in classification. Now, when you first get to a prison, you put on what's called the little orientation roll, so that you know what I'm saying, you get to feel your way out, and before they just dump you off out there with everybody. They get you, you know what I'm saying, inside a cage so you can holler out the window and talk to people and find out where your people at. And then I had one, you know what I'm saying, one partner, you know what I'm saying, who was a SDC, Dago Crip. So he got at me, you know what I mean? He was a younger homie, you know what I mean, from Oceanside. So bam, you know what I'm saying, when I got there, you know what I mean, okay, I'm cool. But now, you know what I'm saying, after, you know what I'm saying, you get situated, and they feel that, okay, you know what I'm saying, it's safe enough to let him out onto the main line. So they let me out on the main line, and then it was like a couple weeks later, and I was going to classification. This is the first time you go to classification. They figure out what they're gonna do with you, where you came from, what happened. You know what I'm saying? What you know what I'm saying. Are they gonna put you in a vocation? Are you gonna put you in some educational program? Are they gonna put you in some, you know what I'm saying? Some kitchen porter, yard crew. You know what I mean? Whatever jobs they need filled, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's a system of slavery. So I was literally in classification, because if I wasn't in classification, I would have been involved in the riot that happened. And it was crazy because, you know what I'm saying, I was in classification, literally in the, you know what I'm saying, room with the I think it was associate warden, the captain, the lieutenant, the program administrator, a bunch of CC1s and CC2s. And, these are the correctional staff that, you know what I'm saying, dictate, you know what I'm saying, what's gonna happen to you. So anyway, while I was in there, the alarm goes off. I don't know what's going on. I'm sitting in a chair, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they're telling me, you know what I'm saying, go sit outside. Next thing you know what I'm saying, the alarm goes off. They running, you know what I'm saying, they're others going to watch and back up or whatever. And you know what I'm saying, I was sitting over in the cut, you know what I mean, in the office. And then they go through and do whatever they're gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Because the yard had went down. It cracked off between the blacks and the South Side Hispanics. And so if anybody knows, you know what I'm saying, that's it's going down. So, you know what I'm saying, on the yard, it kicked off, and it was about 8 to 12 people involved at the most. 8 to 12 people. For real deal, you know what I'm saying, that's about all that was, you know what I'm saying, the rest were standing around pretending, or, not really trying to, be involved. And as soon as the police say get down, they're getting on the ground quick. But anyway, so it was a handful of people. It was, you know what I'm saying, it was two handfuls of people at the most, and that's the whole yard. So, but you know what I'm saying, they get them, you know, and then while they're dealing with them, the other building goes off. Bang! So inside that building, they have like day rooms, whatever, and you know what I'm saying, wherever it was a situation where I guess the Southside Hispanics, they got rules regulations. I always respected their structure. When they say jump, they up in the air, asking when can we come back down? Because you know what I'm saying, when the boss says jump, you up in the air. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Because if not, they gonna whack your ass. And that's, you know what I'm saying, that look, they serious. And that's the thing, you know what I'm saying, I don't know. Anywhere you go, you don't have Once you get involved with a group or whatever, you don't have to worry about nobody else doing something to you. But you got to worry about your own folks doing something to you. Because if you do something wrong, then other people, you know what I'm saying, can go get at your people like, man, look, you know what I'm saying, this dude did this. Y'all don't deal with him, we gonna deal with everybody. I mean, we're gonna kick it off. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, to avoid a riot because people don't want to mess up their 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 nest. People feather their nest. That's the way it works in prison. You try and make doing time as good as you can make it, and it's only so much you can do. You're in a cage. End of the day, you're in a cage. But you can have, you know what I'm saying, some little creature comforts in that cage, which, we all got TVs and, radios, and it's a lot, you know what I mean? And man, the cells in California men's colony are ridiculously small because they literally, it's like the cells were designed for single cell, for one person. And then they put another bed on the wall and said, no, we're gonna put two of y'all in there. So when the wall bed is laid out, and then the bed over here is an upper or a lower, you know what I mean. That's it. There's not really no room to do anything else. It's ridiculously small, but you deal with what you got and you make the best out of it. So anyway, so then when they got that building situated, the next building cracked off because the Mexicans, if they don't handle their business, then they're, you know what I'm saying, they're up shit creek. Literally, because you ain't got nowhere else to go. Where you gonna go? So anyway, the other building cracked off. Now all of them have cracked off. Okay. So they lock everybody down, they slam everything. And now I had my window faced outside, but they had like the close custody people. They had windows facing in towards the yard, and most of those windows were busted out. But I'm not sure if it was a captain or a lieutenant. It was a captain or a lieutenant. I don't remember, but he was on the news. This was the local news in San Luis Obispo, and they was up there, and he was explaining how they had a riot with 200 inmates. So now I already told you on the yard it was literally like, 10 to 12 people. In the building, it was like maybe 4 to 5, maybe 6 people at the most in each building. So that's another 12. So 24 people at the most. At the most, double that, say 50 people. They're blowing smoke up the audience's tail, telling stories about how it was 200 inmates involved in a racial riot. And then they're on the yard, and then the captain or the lieutenant, whoever it was, I don't remember which one, but I remember the news. He picked up a little razor. Now we get big razors, the little plastic one blade, cheapy razors, and then the guys take the razor blade out of there, and you take the plastic all off of it, and it's just a little razor blade. And you take that razor blade, and you take an ace comb, and then you bend the teeth up to the side. So the comb is this way. These are the teeth of the comb. You bend one, and then over here you bend another one. And then you take the blade that has two holes already in it, and you slide it up onto the comb. And then it's flat up against the comb. So then when you comb hair, it cuts at a certain length. This is how people cut hair on the yard. So this is where one guy, he's always out there doing people's hair. He charges you to hook up your fade, you know what I mean? To give you a design, whatever you want, you know what I'm saying, to hook your shit up, to you line it up, whatever. You give him a couple soups and he gonna take care of you. This is where he works. So he found one of those little razor blades, and now he's telling the news and the people that this is what they do. They take these razor blades and they melt it into the back of a toothbrush and use it as a slashing weapon. Man, if that wasn't a bogus, I'm watching the news in my cell like, wow, wow, the propaganda being spilled. And then there was another time when I was in San Luis Obispo, and it was what's the guy? What's the guy's name? Helter Skelter. Oh man, uh, Charles Manson. So Charles Manson, one of the guy that was involved in that case, I believe his name was Tex Watkins. Tex Watkins was an old ass man that was in that prison, California Men's Colony, when I was there, and it was crazy because he had came up for parole, and they had people outside the prison protesting because, like I said, I had a window facing outside because I wasn't closed custody. If you're a super secure, you know what I mean, extra security, you need to be on an inside cell facing the inside of the prison. I was facing the outside because I was off of closed custody. I wasn't, I was close to coming home after a long, long time incarcerated. Anyway, the propaganda went. Oh, but so Tex Watkins, they had people out there protesting because they didn't want him released. So if anybody knows about Charles Manson and his case and all that that's a whole mess. But hey, check out the next video. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the share. Share this with somebody, man. It helps my numbers. Thank you, and see you on the next one.